So about 2.5 months ago, I was in my junk mail box. I was looking for one of those authenticator codes you get sometimes. And at the top of the junk mail box was an email from someone from Insta360. And, if it winds up in the junk mail, it's probably there for a reason. But I was bored, so I opened it up and read it. And it was basically, it came from, supposedly at the time, a sales rep who claimed that they've been looking at my videos that I've been making and were interested in doing a collaboration with me. And, so I'm thinking to myself, well, that's really weird. I mean, Insta360 is like a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm just some dude in the middle of the United States with about 900 subscribers. Why would they bother contacting me about this sort of thing? Anyway, I read the email, and we're well trained at work to look for spam emails, the typical stuff, the mismatched fonts, the misspellings, the bad use of case, that sort of thing. Email links, whatever, that look really suspect. And but this email had none of those. If it didn't wind up in my spam folder, I would have thought it was legitimate. So I sent it to one of my kids. I had her give it the once over because she's skeptical like me. She comes back and says, it looks real. And then I sent the text through ChatGPT and I said, does this look like a legitimate email to you? And it does the typical ChatGPT stuff. It does some analysis and says, yeah, we think this looks like a real email. So I'm like, okay, great. Can you create a reply to this email saying that it sounds interesting, thanks for reaching out, remind them like I'm a small channel and this is really something they're looking for. And ChatGPT spun something up. I cut and pasted, replied in the email, and about a day later they came back and said, that's okay. We're always looking for new people to work with, and we thought your channel looked interesting, so we would like to send you these items, and since you're a cyclist, we'd also like to send you an Ace Pro 2. So I'm thinking, well, that's weird, but okay, let's keep going with it. Now, the items they were going to send me were items for the X5, their latest 360 camera. And I had done a bunch of Insta360 review videos just on my own, just because I kind of like their products and I like to try them out. So again, I took the text, sent it through ChatGPT, and said, does this still seem like a legitimate email? And it came back as, yes, this seems like a legitimate email. Now, what was also in this email was a link. And I'm thinking to myself, if I click on this link, they're probably going to steal all my financial information, right? So it made me a little nervous to click on that link. So I asked ChatGPT to analyze the link. And it came back with, this is paraphrasing. Essentially, this is like a Chinese version of Google Docs, a place where companies will upload documents that they can share with people. I was thinking, all right, that's fine. So let's construct a reply, tell them that I'm interested, but also ask them to verify that link that they sent me before I click on it. Just because I'm wary and careful with emails from people that I don't really correspond with. ChatGPT spits something out. It sounds good to me. Sends it off. And in the meantime, I go to Insta360's website and I go to that little customer support bot, where you can, drive your way through the automated messages to an actual person. So I got an actual person and I said, I got this sort of correspondence. Can you verify that this person is a real employee? And they said, yes, of course. We'll check it out. We'll get back to you in a day or two. So in the meantime, the person writes back to me who started the conversation and said, we understand you want to be careful. This is what this website is, and this is what we use it for, and it matches up with what ChatGPT was saying, so that seemed cool to me. The next day, I hear back from the help desk and say, yes, this is a person. She deals with United States relationships. So now I'm thinking, okay, this sounds pretty legit. So I write back, I say, yes. This time I actually write. I say, yes, I'm interested. What would you like to do? and they came back with like, we would like you to create review videos of these accessories for the X5, and we don't want to infringe on your creativity or your opinions. If you don't like them, that's totally fine. The only thing we ask is that when you're finished, send us a link so we can look at it, just to make sure that you don't say anything that's like egregiously incorrect, which is totally fine, because I'm not an expert at cameras. You know, I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't like all the details. So it's possible I may say something that's incorrect and they want me to fix it. I'm totally cool with that. So they said, okay, and we'll also send you all these items, but we need your address. So I'm like, all right, now I'm starting to feel a little wishy-washy about this, but I decided to take a risk. I'm like, all right, here's my mailing address. I mean, everybody's got my mailing address at this point, I would think. So they said, great, we'll send it out. Give us a couple days. 3 or 4 days later, I get this box, and inside the box was everything they said they were going to send to me. So now I'm thinking, okay, this is the legit thing. So I take each item, I do a review. I think the items were an ND filters, an extra battery, a microphone, a remote control for the camera thing, and I want to say there's one other thing, but I can't think of it at the time. So anyway, I created a video for each one, and I would submit a link, and the only corrections they would ask me to make were really just like in the description, how the description was set up, because I would create URLs to the Insta360 website, and I also would create URLs to the Amazon item, because I have an affiliate thing through Amazon, because like I want to get a piece, right? So they wrote back to me and said, we want you to use this affiliate link, because if you use this link, then you'll get a cut of anything we sell. And if you don't mind, could you remove the Amazon links? So I'm like, I don't care. Sure, no problem. So I get rid of the Amazon links. I fix the URL. They ask me to rearrange a few things in the description, but again, this is text. I don't even care about that. They didn't ask me to change anything about my opinions, and that's all I care about. So this is kind of how it went back and forth for about a month and a half. I was making these videos, and it was actually kind of fun, because, you know, here I am, this little guy being asked to collaborate with a big company on some items that I wouldn't have bought because they're kind of pricey, but it was fine to use them. It was great. So once I was finished with all those videos, I sent back and said, well, I'm finished now, or do you want to do the Ace Pro 2 as well? And they're like, absolutely, but we're out of stock. As soon as they're back in stock, we'll send you one, and then you can give a review of it. I'm like, cool. So they didn't just send me the camera, they sent me like their creators bundle. So I got the camera, I got a tripod, extra batteries, just a whole bunch of stuff that comes with this creator kit. So I think that's what I was going to do, was review the creator kit and how it came back, how it works. So what I did was an unboxing. I took it on a bike adventure. Then I tried out the different camera modes that come with it and created each of those videos. And after I made the second video, that was the first time they ever asked me to change something in the video itself. Now, again, it wasn't about anything about my creativity or my opinions or anything like that. It was really just, can you say that we are running a special, and that if you buy the camera, you get a discount, and we'll also throw in an SD card. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I've already created the video. It's kind of a hassle to try and redo that. So I write back and say, you know, I can't get the lighting right. I can't get the camera angles right. Is there any other options? Can I just put it in a comment or a description or something? And then they asked me, well, could you do a voiceover at the end? I'm like, yeah, I could do a voiceover. So I just put the text on the screen, did a voiceover, and they were happy with that. For my last video, I incorporated that line into it, so that wasn't that big a deal. Generally, generally I always got good feedback from them, actually, and I had a pretty good time doing this. But again, it's like I was pretty surprised they reached out to me in the first place. So I was talking with some friends, like, why do you think they would reach out to me? I mean, like, I don't really have many viewers. I don't have a lot of subscribers. And besides, they released these items like months ago. And we got to thinking that, you know, probably like it's cheaper for them to hook up with me, send me a camera and some stuff. And if they get one person to buy it, they've probably made all their money back. And plus, they're not paying me. They're just giving me stuff. You know, I'm sure other people who do these kind of reviews, who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They probably not only get to keep the items, but they also get paid. Whereas I'm just like some dude. I don't get paid. I just get the items and they let me keep them. Because that was one thing that I wanted to make sure through the correspondence was that, you know, you weren't going to ask me to pay for these or send them back or anything like that. And they were always like, no, these are for you to keep. We just want you to give a fair review of these items. So I had a good time doing this. It was kind of flattering in a way that, you know, they would actually notice. I finished my last video earlier this week. I don't know if I'll ever hear back from them again. I got about as much reach on these videos as I do on just about all my other videos. You know, some people see it, not a lot, but it is what it is. I had fun doing it. I got some good experience. It gave me, it caused me to come up with some new ideas on how to review items, which was pretty cool. So if I sent them one final email and I said that, I enjoyed doing it. If you ever want to do one of these collaborations again, let me know. I really like your product, just me kind of kissing up to them to see if they'll actually respond. Now I haven't heard back from them for a couple days, so, maybe I never will again, and maybe this was just a one-time deal. But even if it was fun. So I don't know. What's the moral of the story? Check your spam filters once in a while, and maybe there's some little golden nugget in there. Doesn't happen often, but once in a while. So on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.